All right, polynomials. The first thing you need to know about polynomials, poly meaning many, and then monomials just meaning kind of terms. So polynomials, many terms. All right, a couple of things that you need to know. Degree. Degree simply means highest exponent. So if we have an equation and we're talking about the degree, so let's say that our equation is x to the fifth minus 2x squared plus 1. The degree of this equation is the highest exponent, and the highest exponent is 5. So the degree of that would be 5. Also, a different way of looking at degree. Let's say we have something like this where we have two different variables going on. Okay, so the degree of this is going to be the two different things added together. Notice how these are different. These are all individual terms, so we didn't do anything. We just took the highest one. But if we have something that has multiple terms in it, we add those together. So 2 plus 5, which equals 7. So the degree of that term would be 7. So that's how you look at degree. Now, naming them. Naming polynomials is important. We need to be able to talk about what we're looking at. So we name them in two ways. First of all, we name them by their degree. Okay? If they have a degree of 1, so it's just like an x. All right? We call this linear. You dealt with linear functions a lot. If they have a degree of 2, so this might be like x squared, we call them quadratic. A degree of 3, x cubed, or whatever cubed, it doesn't have to necessarily be x. We call this cubic. And fourth and higher, we simply call it fourth degree, and so on and so forth. Okay, so 5th degree, 6th degree, 7th degree, whatever it happens to be. All right. The other way that we name things is by the number of terms. If it has one term, we call it a monomial. Mono meaning one term. If it has two terms, we'll think about what has two wheels. A bicycle, so it's a binomial. 3 terms. Tricycle, trinomial. Okay, 4 terms and higher, we can call it a 4-term polynomial, or we can just call it a polynomial, however you want to look at it. But that's the way we would do things. So we name it on the degree. Make sure you have that down. Pause it if you don't. And we name it on the number of terms. Again, if you don't have that down, make sure you pause it. So if we're looking at something that might be like 2x cubed minus 5x, okay? And they ask us to name it. The first thing that we need to do is to make sure all like terms have been combined. All like terms have been combined for this one. It's also in standard form. Standard form. Means highest exponent to lowest exponent. Okay, that's going to be standard form. Highest to lowest. So we have standard form. Now we're going to name it on the number of, or the degree and the number of terms. Degree for this one is 3. It's my highest exponent. Terms. How many terms do I have? 2. So degree 3 with 2 terms means it is a cubic, and then 2 terms binomial. Cubic binomial. All right? Let's say they gave us something like that. Okay, we have to do 2 things here. First of all, we need to put it in standard form. All right? So rearrange all this. Remember the highest exponent first, so the x cubed needs to go first. So that's the first term. My second term is going to be the x squareds, so 5x squared. Third term is going to be just the x's, so plus 2x. And then this constant term that doesn't have anything with it goes last. Okay? So now we're in standard form. Now we need to name it. Naming it, the degree is 3, so it's a cubic. And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, so 4-term polynomial. And sometimes you'll just see that called a polynomial, so a cubic polynomial. But for right now, we're going to call that a 4-term polynomial. All right. The last piece is just combining like terms. I know you know how to do this. I'm just going to show you a quick example. Okay. When you're doing this, make sure you rewrite it. That negative sign needs to be distributed. So we just bring down this first set of parentheses. Nothing changes there. Distribute the negative sign. Negative 6x cubed. A negative and a negative make a positive 5x squared. Okay? And then we combine like terms. So these two are like terms. Okay? 2x cubed minus 6x cubed make negative 4x cubed. X squared, that's a 1x squared, right? 1x squared and 5x squared makes 6x squared. So, that's how you do polynomials. Remember, we name it by the degree and the number of terms. Standard form means put it from highest exponent to lowest exponent, and degree means the highest exponent. All right, go for it. Get started on your lesson.